Today's first reading from the Acts of the Apostles gives us an idealized glimpse of the early church. The community of believers was of one heart and one mind. The effectiveness of ministry in the church today depends on the mutual shared matter between pastor and congregation, and God's Holy Spirit working through us in our shared ministries. The early church was essentially a mission church, while today we have become a maintenance church. What a contrast there is between a maintenance church and a mission church. When contemplating some form of change, the maintenance congregation says, if this proves upsetting to any of our members, we won't do it. The mission congregation said, if this will help us to reach someone on the outside, we will take the risk and do it. When thinking about change, the majority of members in a maintenance congregation ask, how will this affect me? The majority of members in a mission congregation ask, will this increase our ability to reach those outside? When thinking of the vision for ministry, the maintenance congregation says we have to be faithful to our past. The mission congregation says we have to be faithful to our future. The pastor in the maintenance congregation says to the newcomer, I'd like to introduce you to some of our members. In the mission congregation, the members say, we'd like to introduce you to our pastor. The maintenance congregation seeks to avoid conflict at any cost, but rarely succeeds. The mission congregation understands that conflict is the price of progress and is willing to pay the price. It understands that it cannot take everyone with it. This causes some grief, but it does not keep it from doing what needs to be done. When thinking about growth in maintenance congregations, how many Catholics live within our parish? The mission congregation asks, how many unchurched people live in our parish? And when we say, celebrate a Mass for the people of the parish, I always say, let us celebrate this Mass for the people within our parish. Catholics, Protestants, Jews, atheists, all the rest. We're responsible for them. The maintenance congregation thinks about how to save their congregation. The mission congregation thinks about how we are to reach the world. We must be a mission church. Do we see ourselves as the gathered or the sent? The gathered do mission. The sent are the mission. We have so many Catholics these days. We have conservative Catholics. If you want to see conservative Catholics, look at the new seminarians coming out. They wear cassocks, going back to the 1960s. They would love to be able to celebrate Mass in Latin. So we have to really teach the new pastors. As a matter of fact, new pastors are coming out now after 4 years of ordination. In my time, you had to be 25 years a priest before you could become a pastor. And so these young people going to become pastors need to be educated by their congregation. But it depends whether the congregation is a mission congregation, to help that priest become a mission priest. So we have conservative Catholics, we have liberal Catholics, we have ex-Catholics, we have Easter and Christmas Catholics. The largest Christian church in the United States is the Catholic Church. The second largest is ex-Catholics. Ex-Catholics. The new Catholic directory has just come out, and it says in the directory how many Catholics practice their religion by going to Mass every Sunday. 6%. We have a long way to go to be a mission church, to create that community we see in the Acts of the Apostles, where everybody was of one mind and one heart.